Hi, I'm Heather. Welcome to class. Today we're going to work with a floor-based sequence, challenging our hamstrings, our adductors, and our hips. Before we begin, if you find this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you're notified when a new video is available. We're going to utilize a strap and two blocks. We'll start with Supta Padangusthasana number 1 and 2. As we establish ourselves, we'll lie back and set up a diagonal block leaning onto a flat block. This sits next to the right hip. Then, as I lie back, I'm going to place a loop, two aspects of that loop over the right foot. One's on the front heel and one's on the ball of the foot. Hold on to the loop as I lie back, straighten the right leg, and slowly slide the left heel away from me. I press the left thigh down, and that may require easing off a little bit on the pulling action of the strap. See if you can set yourself in such a way that the elbows are partially bent and you can draw your shoulder tips down to the floor. That way the neck can stay neutral. Straighten both legs. So if your hamstrings feel restricted, it can be tempting to do the pose with the knee bent. You may still feel a stretch, however, you're not getting the full range of movement in that hamstring muscles. So ease off. Maybe you need to make your loop a little longer so that you can ease off a little bit with the movement of the thigh towards the chest. You press the thigh away from you a little more so that you can straighten the knee and get that full range of stretch coming into the back of the knee. Keep working the head of the right thigh, the very top part of the right thigh, away from the right chest as the shoulder tips are drawing down. And internally rotate your left thigh. So this inner left thigh rolls down towards the floor. Now, as we move to the second variation of this pose, make sure your blocks are close, touching the outer right hip, so that when we take the leg out to the side, the thigh is supported by our diagonal block. Sweep the left arm out wide to the side as you lengthen through the inner right foot. Press the left thigh down, internally rotate your left thigh, inner left thigh rolling down, stay on the center left heel and press both shoulder tips to the floor. Keep the head neutral. As you lengthen through the right inner thigh, press the ball of the right big toe away from the groin. Lengthen the inner right heel away from the groin. Inhale, raise the leg up. Remove the strap as you bend the knee. Release the leg down and pause for a moment, have a rest. Now we'll take the blocks across to the other side. Set your flat block, then your diagonal block close to the left hip. And bend up the left leg. Put your strap over the left foot. So one part of the strap comes to the front heel and the other part's around the ball of the foot. Start with the right leg bent, right foot's on the floor, and then straighten the left leg first. Open the back of the left knee, then slide the right heel away from you, internally rotate your right thigh, inner right thigh rolls down. Press the head of the left thigh, the very top part of this left thigh, away from the chest and go on working to open the back of the knee. So it requires being strong in the quadricep muscles. Draw the shoulder tips down to the floor. Give yourself some room to bend the elbows. Make sure your strap is long enough that you can bend the elbows. Just a partial bend in the elbows, not a complete one where you're drawing the elbows to the floor though. Collarbones are broad. And as we tend to the breath, ensure you're breathing smoothly, keeping the jaw relaxed. facial muscles relaxed. Now to the second variation, hold the strap with your left hand. When you take the left leg out wide to the side, just make sure your blocks are in a good position to offer complete support to the outer thigh, and sweep the right arm out to the right side. Pin both shoulders down. Turn the navel back to the right. So we're switching on the transverse abdominal muscles as we're also pressing the right thigh down. Chest broad as both shoulders draw down, and then lengthen the inner right foot, so both the inner heel and the ball of the big toe, away from the groin. Maintain action in the right leg by rolling the inner right thigh down towards the floor and pressing the right thigh down. As we maintain the pose, we stay steady. Steady the breath, steady your gaze. Inhale, raise the leg back up and remove the strap as you bend the knee, release and relax the body. Bend the knees, roll over to the right side and come to sit up. Now as we sit, let's take a blanket, fold it in half, put it on the floor behind the length of your mat, have a strap nearby, sit in Dandasana with the legs extended. Press the fingertips to the floor, work your thigh bones down to the floor, shoulders roll back and down. Then stretch one leg out, other leg out, so we come to sit in Upavistha Konasana, the open angle pose. Set the legs at a 90-degree angle, and part of the reason I put the blanket on the floor behind the mat is to give us this field on which to place the heels. The heels are within the boundary of the front of the mat, if you can manage that. If there's some restriction in the legs, the hips, sometimes the pelvis pulls us back, which causes the legs to roll out. See if you can roll onto the front of the sitting bones and set the kneecaps and the toes so they face the ceiling. If you can't manage that, use more height to sit on. Take your strap and let's put it around the right foot. Ball of the foot pressing into the strap, and we sit facing the right leg. Turn the left chest to face the right leg. Now it will seem evident that the weight starts to come more heavily into this right sitting bone. Press the head of the left thigh back down and slowly start to draw yourself forward over the right leg. Walk your hands along the strap towards the ball of the foot, but go on pressing the head of the left thigh down and stretch the left heel away from the groin. Breastbone up. If you can go further, bend the elbows, draw yourself forward over the leg. Sweep the left armpit chest around towards the inner leg. Raise the head up. Come to sit all the way up. Remove your strap and let's do the other leg. Place your strap around the ball of the left foot and turn your chest to face that left leg. So this right armpit chest sweeps around towards my left leg. Inhale, exhale, draw yourself forward over the leg, and you can creep your hands along the strap towards your foot. But watch how this right side chest might want to lag behind. Can you sweep that right armpit chest around towards that left foot? Go on pressing the head of the right thigh down, stretching out through the inner right heel. And as you're ready, you can go deeper if you have that capacity. Bring yourself forward over the leg and continue to sweep right armpit chest around towards the inner left leg. Still, we're pressing the head of the right thigh down. Then raise the head up, raise the torso up, and come to sit. Now we work to stretch forward between both legs. Bring the fingertips onto the floor. Lift the breastbone up. Drive the thigh bones down. Inhale. Exhale. Slide the hands forward. Go as far forward as you can manage. Go on pressing the head of the thighs down. Lengthen the inner heels, the balls of the big toes away from the groins as you continue to move more deeply into your forward bend. Upavistha Konasana, the open angle pose. Keep the outer hips descending, outer hips moving back and down. Draw the shoulders away from the neck. Inner deltoids roll forward. Raise the head up, slide the hands back in, come to sit up, and let's bring the legs into Baddha Konasana. Bound angle pose, soles of the feet together. Hold the ankles, pull the heels in close, lift your chest up, roll the shoulders back and down. Then see if you can interlock the fingers underneath the toes. Again, lift the chest up. We lengthen from groin to knee, but we're feeding the thigh bones back into the pelvis. Maintain the length between the breastbone and the navel as we bend the elbows towards the groins and move forward over the feet. Shoulders press back away from the head side. Outer hips down. Keep feeding the thigh bones back into the pelvis. Raise the head up, raise the torso up, come to sit, and stretch your legs forward. Dandasana. Now we'll come off our blanket and we're going to work with balancing on the sit bones. If you feel stiff in the hamstrings, it will be worthwhile using a strap around the feet. Similar to how we worked in Supta Padangusthasana earlier, use your two parts of the strap around the front heel and the ball of the foot. Lift up your feet, draw your chest up, move the thighs to the ribs and the ribs to the thighs. So initially we're focusing on a strong flexion in the hips, encouraging the lift in the lower spine, maintaining the lift in the breastbone, then work towards straightening the legs. We're still maintaining a deep hip flexion and drawing the lumbar spine in, drawing the navel in. Lift the chest. If you feel flexible enough in the hamstrings, you could do away with the strap, hold the big toes, lift the sternum, roll the outer shoulders down. Look towards the big toes. That helps with the lift of the sternum. Then see if you can separate the feet, take the legs apart, stay balanced on the sit bones, go on lifting the lumbar spine up, draw the navel up and towards the spine. Feed the upper arm bones back into the shoulder joint. Roll the outer shoulders down. Get steady in your breath. Facial muscles soft. Then raise the legs back up. Bring the legs together. See if you can maintain the shape of the legs and the torso. Let go the grip of the big toes or the strap. Come through Navasana, the boat pose, and then release into simple cross legs. Now let's stretch the legs forward. We're going to move from Dandasana into Paschimottanasana, up and down on the breath. As we move forward and down, if your lower back feels vulnerable, sit up on a blanket and you'll slide the hands along the floor as you intend to come forward and back up. Those of us who feel strong in the lower back, we feel we've got the capacity to hinge in the hips, the hamstrings are long, we take the arms up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge forward, forward and down. Then raise the arms and the head. Inhale, torso up. Exhale, forward and down. Thighs press down. Raise the head and the arms. Inhale, come up. Exhale, forward and down. Keep the inner thighs rolling down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, forward and down. The inner feet stay in contact. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, up. Last one. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, all the way up. And exhale. Release the arms down. That's it for today. Thanks for joining me. For more in-depth teaching, check out the video library on my website, heatherkitchenyoga.com.au. The link is in the description box below.